Hi, I'm Kimberly Schneiderman, Senior Practice Development Manager at Randstad RiseSmart, here with your Smart Tip. Every year, different trends emerge for human resources, talent acquisition, and retention practices, and corporate initiatives also. Most often, articles about emerging trends are written as guidance for human resources teams and leadership audiences as a way for them to both understand and take action on recommendations. As a professional in career transition, you can reverse engineer the advice HR is receiving to identify ways that you can market yourself as the perfect candidate and also gain an understanding of how a company operates. Following are a few trends that you might want to ask about during your interviews. First is the wellness trend. The topic of wellness at work has become a cornerstone of how companies treat employees, especially since the start of the pandemic. According to one LinkedIn study, there's been a 147% increase in job postings that mention well-being in their description. And that's just since 2019, not even since the pandemic started. In an interview, you can ask about the organization's wellness-related initiatives and inquire whether they've introduced anything new in the past 2 years. When it comes to diversity, equity, inclusion, this topic often includes ideas of belonging and accessibility also. Companies are currently being told to be able to speak to not only pledges of goals, but also accountability about the education and change within the organization. You can ask, how is this company holding itself accountable to the DEI intentions it has set? Then the Great Resignation. It is true that more people than ever are voluntarily leaving their company, either for a better position or for other reasons. In fact, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, total separations increased to 6.3 million in November of 2021. If a company is experiencing a great deal of attrition, it can make a job harder for the remaining employees. So you might ask, how are the resignation trends impacting the business, and how is work getting done? For workforce planning, one thing that you can think about is the focus on new skills. In fact, one I4CP study shows that everything from focusing on developing new skills and facilitating internal mobility to breaking down jobs into small skills and forecasting skills of the future, they're all considered when a company is thinking about workforce planning. Building logical and attainable career paths within an organization is important to the retention and productivity of employees. When you're interviewing with a company, you could ask, when you look to the future, what role do you see career development and mobility playing in the organization? And finally, connection. According to a study by Burson and Associates, about 40% of professionals want to be in the office, while about 60% would rather work from home. And I4CP's study tells us that 19% of people that left their jobs did so due to disengagement and lack of social connection. With the variety of workplace situations, fixing the issue of connection and engagement isn't always an easy one. If you are interested in knowing how a company is addressing this, consider asking what the company is doing to ensure remote workers have the same advantages as those in the office, related to visibility and connection to leadership and peers within the organization. Workplace trends influence the employee experience, aka your experience working for the company. Most people value an organization that cares about them as a person, overall diversity and accessibility, their career development, talent retention rates, and the ways employees connect to each other and leadership. Continue researching these topics as you continue your transition to understand what you can expect from your future employer. Thank you for joining me today. For more ideas in your career transition, be sure to tune in to upcoming webinars.